Welcome to Day 7 of Learn PostgreSQL in 7 Days. In this section, we'll learn PostgreSQL data types and table constraints. Now, this is the last section of this course, but I want you to know that it's been a wonderful journey with you. Having said that, before we get started, let's review the solutions to the last exercise in Section 6. So, if you haven't completed this assessment, I highly encourage you to go back and give it a try. Otherwise, let's move on to the solutions, starting with Problem 1. Here was your task for Problem 1. It's another day at the DVD rental store, and your manager has asked for help finding the sum of all payments transacted by staff ID. Write a query that will return this information for your manager. So your query should have looked like this. We would select the staff ID column, and then with the sum function, we pass in the amount column. And then we specify from the payment table, and then finally we group by staff ID. Let's move on to Problem 2. So here's your task for Problem 2. There's good news at the DVD rental store. Corporate headquarters has decided to debut a loyalty program for customers who frequently visit the store. Before the program launches, your manager has decided to give customers with more than 40 transactions early access to the program. Write a query that returns the customer IDs having more than 40 transactions. So your query for this task should have looked like this. We would select the customer ID column, and then with the count function, we pass in the payment ID column. We specify from the payment table, and then with the group by clause, we can group by customer ID, followed by the having clause, where we can specify a condition where the count of rows in the payment column are greater than 40. Let's move on to Problem 3. Here was your task for Problem 3. It's the next day at the DVD rental store, and a customer approaches you for a favor. They want to mail a thank you card to the manager of DVD rental store number 2, but they don't have the address. Write a query that returns the address for store ID 2. So this task required the use of an inner join clause, so let's see how we could have written this. First, we select the store ID column from the store table, and then the address column from the address table. We specify from the store table, and then with the inner join clause, we join the address table, and with the on keyword, we specify our join condition, which in this case is where the store.address ID equals the address.address ID. And then finally, with the where clause, we can set our final condition, which is to return the row where the value in the store ID column equals 2. Let's move on to Problem 4. Here was your task for Problem 4. Later in the day, your manager asks for your help locating addresses that do not have customers assigned to them. Write a query that returns all the columns for the address table that do not have matching customer records. Okay, so based on this task, there's an implication for the use of some kind of outer join clause because we need all the records from one table and the matching and non-matching records from another table. So a left join would have worked as a perfect solution. Let's take a look at that query now. So we would select all the columns, and then we could specify from the address table because we need all the records from the address table. And then with the left join clause, we join the customer table, and then using the on keyword to set a condition where the address ID column in the address table equals the address ID column in the customer table. And finally, we set our final condition for our select statement using a where clause to return the rows where the address ID column in the customer table is null. And there you have it. At this time, let's go ahead and conclude this video and introduce the next video in this section. Those were the solutions for the assessment for Day 6. So, hopefully you're able to complete this exercise with no problem. And if for some reason you were not, now you have the solutions, so I would highly encourage you to go back to pgadmin and give these another try. Otherwise, let's go ahead and introduce the next video in this section.